Welcome, Annie Norman, Director of Delaware Libraries. Happy New Year to you, too.
Thank you, Sharon. Yes, Happy New Year.
Great to have you. And I thought, this would be a good time when people are making New Year's resolutions to remind them about Delaware Libraries. And you write, the dream of Delaware Libraries is to help our state become an even more vibrant and prosperous place where all dreams are realized. That's pretty big stuff. Can you explain?
Well, yeah, so we are known as a community help desk. We help individuals take their next step. And for communities, we're moving communities forward. So that's our goal, is to help individuals or communities with what they need next in order to progress. In fact, of course, we've had a lot of library construction lately, and even more coming up in the new year. But we're a reflection of community maturity and development. So we help libraries or we'll help communities to grow, and in turn, the communities help libraries to grow and mature as well.
If folks haven't been for a while to their library, they may not know that our libraries really now are innovation centers. They've evolved into that. Can you talk about, the goals that the library has for being a member of the community, a part of the community as an innovation center?
Well, sure, absolutely. So of course, our traditional tool that we use is books. We have a lot of those and continue to. And of course,
now, that's good news. You still have books.
Still have those, but learning happens in a lot of different ways. And one way are experiences. And so we like to have experiences in a lot of different forms, like programs and presenters, but also having equipment that individuals might not be able to afford on their own, or they want to try it out first before they see. And so we were setting up maker spaces, innovation labs where people could try out 3D printing, especially for entrepreneurs or wannabe entrepreneurs that want to test out a prototype. And there's lots of other equipment in the libraries, like for video, such as what you do, if they want to follow in your footsteps, or music, or any of those sorts of things. Lots of equipment that I can't even name, but fortunately the libraries are helping the community with these various tools.
That is fantastic. And did the quarantine, the pandemic, change radically the way you do business at the library?
Well, it was amazing how quickly the libraries were able to adapt. Of course, everyone had that challenge. It's like, how do we adapt to this? And the libraries were right there with the communities. They developed things such as curbside checkout, so people could pick up books. They moved a lot of services online, so that doing virtual story times, which was a lot of fun. And we also put other assistance services, even the social workers and employment specialists that we work with. They moved online with us to take appointments over the phone. In fact, we not only moved things online, but we reintroduced some traditional services, like adding a phone number back on so that people could call by phone. Yeah.
Wow. So this is the time of year when many of us, with good intentions, make New Year's resolutions. And when I asked you about that, you talked about journaling. Can you explain?
Yeah, so we encourage everyone to journal in their own way. There are so many ways to journal. Typically, people think of like for writers, or think of journaling about their feelings, but we have a whole website that is devoted to different types of journals. We have them organized by subject, just like our books are.
Oh my gosh, that's unreal.
Yeah, so we're not telling you how to journal. We're just saying, take a look and see what might resonate with you. We started by asking people if they track their reading and learning over time, and found that a lot of people did in very unusual ways. Things like Post-it notes or or spreadsheets, all sorts of different ways. But we have collected all these tools so that you might see an idea that you hadn't thought of that would work for you. But various journals, like for hobbies or for health, certainly, especially those New Year's resolutions to lose weight. There's lots of those tools, or to get more exercise. My favorite is one that we developed, if I do say so myself, which is a curiosity journal for children. So we encourage parents to track children's questions because they're cute and they're funny and they're a great keepsake, and they show patterns over time. So not only for the parents to see the patterns, but so the child can look back and see what they were curious about over time. And so we're helping Delawareans to explore what is unique about themselves, to help develop that full potential.
It's a really cool idea. I know some people, journal about the weather, what the weather is every day. My mother told me a story that her mother used to write a few sentences every day, and it becomes a family history, really.
Yeah, absolutely. We have history and track history as well. I do journaling in various different ways, but one I think that is a little unique is I also track my yard sailing. I like to yard sail on Saturdays, and I use a calendar format to track it. So what I found where and how much I paid and all of that. But it's funny because as back on it, I can, you can see those patterns. It's like, oh, this community has a yard sale every year at this time. So I can kind of plan ahead and see when there's going to be yard sales. So, it's kind of fun.
Sure. Now, you mentioned a number of people have asked Santa Claus for digital devices. And if indeed Santa delivers, I suspect a good number of those folks will really not know how to work those new digital devices. How can the library help?
Absolutely. So every year in December, we promote. So if you're giving a new device, remember, we've got these free ebooks that can be used. And then in January, we promote. So did you get a new device for the holidays? The librarians can help. And if you check the calendar, you can see which libraries are offering sessions on helping people with their new devices, and also how to use the ebooks if they need some assistance with that as well. Libraries have been helping support digital literacy, which, the name changes, but essentially it was digital literacy since the 1990s, since we first had internet access in the libraries. We've helped people with that, and it's still needed very much so all the time. We're surprised, but it is still needed. That's
sure. And Annie, remind folks how easy it is to access ebooks at our libraries.
Yeah, so our main portal is DelawareLibraries.org, and everything I've talked about you can access from there. So that's where there's a link on our e-media page to all the different ebooks and our Flipster magazines and all the different things that we have online. You can also get a library card online, which is something that we started during the pandemic, so that people could get a library card and start using the ebooks, etc. Now, then when you go, if you want to use both online and go into the library, when you go into the library, they will give you a full card as well.
Geez, you can't make it any easier for folks, really. Final question, how are you connecting with our schools?
So we're so excited. Our most recent project, thanks to Representative Longhurst, the legislator that was the lead on this, she got us funding so that we have the opportunity to add school libraries to the statewide Delaware Library catalog. So far, we only have a handful of schools. All of Colonial School District is part of the catalog, and Tom Gavin is the administrator there. He's been awesome. He's terrific. And he's in awe of he calls himself a data guy. And he says the data that he gets from this project convinces him that this is really important to literacy and student achievement and all of those things. So he's happy to talk with any school that is interested. But we see it as achieving the last mile in reaching every child that might not be taken to the public library. I mean, it's really important to literacy. And, schools are so busy and they've got so much that they need to cover. And
Sure.
And they're not, they can teach reading, but it's not likely to develop a reader. That needs to happen outside of school, in addition to school. So we want to make sure that children are in book floods, not book deserts, and that they have full access to our millions of books.
Annie Norman, you have made libraries cool spaces, cool places, and really something for everyone here in Delaware. We're so lucky. Happy New Year, and I can't wait to catch up with you again.
Well, thank you. Thanks to all my colleagues who have made this happen. And thanks to you, Sharon. I love talking with you. Thank you.
Pleasure. Happy New Year.